What's the podcast's name going to be called?
Oh, geez. We're going to think up the podcast name right now?
Sure. How about the blandest thing possible? Zach and Mike talk about things.
It doesn't really have much draw, I don't think.
Oh, do I have to put on a persona? Why don't we call our podcast Zach and Mike Talk About Things?
Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Zach and Mike Talk About Things. Please tell me that's not the actual name we're going with. Oh my god.
No, we're not Zach and Mike here. We're Fartknocker and the Testicle. Fartknocker and the Testicle.
Fartknocker in the Testicle.
Oh, my testicles!
Are we morning shock radio DJs now?
Why don't you tell me?
Jesus Christ.
So shocked you dropped your phone.
So shocked that my phone. You'll be so shocked your phone will fall out of your head. Oh no, my phone!
Oh, it's all wet now. Anyone got a bag of rice?
What the fuck is this? Alright.
So yeah, we settled it. It's Fartknocker and the Testicle then. Alright.
Oh, good lord. I mean, that can be the title of episode 1.
Fartknocker and the Testicle, episode 1. The origin of Fartknocker and the Testicle. Gonna put that on a t-shirt? People can wear it around town?
Oh god, I don't think so.
Okay, so this is kind of an impromptu podcast. We didn't know we were gonna. I didn't know we were gonna do this until just now. So we're doing it now.
No, I decided that we need to do a podcast based on overwhelming requests for it.
Yeah, people don't know what they want though. They think they know what they want.
You don't know what you want.
I think there was somebody that worked on Portal 2 said if I had given the people what they wanted, it would have just been Portal 1 with more puzzles.
Yeah.
So thank God he didn't listen to him, because Portal 2 is amazing.
Yeah, Portal 2 is amazing. We should play that.
Well, we've already played it all, so all the story beats are known to us.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
Yeah, we could do the co-op, too.
It'd still be fun. We should play Portal 2.
We should do so many things. We should play Chrono Trigger. I thought you were going to come over and play Chrono Trigger some more today.
We can play more Chrono Trigger.
We could, but instead we're doing a podcast now. There's just enough time.
There's plenty of time, and it's still going to be tomorrow and the next day that I'm coming over to record stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got plenty of stuff.
Plenty of time, okay.
We have plenty of time to work with.
So this day, we're just going to do a podcast.
We're going to do this today. Maybe we'll record other stuff. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? The sky's the limit. Those pie in the sky dreams.
We'll talk about all the interesting things.
Goku, take my spirit energy. You can't see it, but I'm holding my hands in the air.
He's doing it. He's praising the sun. So this is a podcast, even though the Campfire stories are already kind of a podcast. But these are stories that aren't interesting enough to be in the podcast.
Exactly. They're stories that aren't interesting enough to be Campfire stories, but for some reason, people still want them. So we'll see how well this does.
I mean, you say that, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how well it does.
They don't necessarily have to be worse than Campfire stories, but things that wouldn't necessarily be fitting for Campfire stories. Like talking about my Birdfeeder or upcoming games or contemporaneous stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a Birdfeeder.
Mike has a Birdfeeder. You may have noticed it if you watch his streams. Sometimes he has the bird camera.
Yes, well, I used to do a couple of editing streams, but for some reason now it's taking up too much processing power on my computer, so I can't do both at the same time.
Yeah, it might be time for a new computer for you.
Yeah, it might be time for people to stop mining cryptocurrency so I could buy new fucking components.
Yeah. There's another thing we could talk about, how stupid mining crypto is. Actually, you know what? That's a very simple topic. Here it is. Stop mining crypto, you stupid fucks.
Let me buy computer components and do actual things.
Yeah. All right, there. That's the end of Zach's crypto segment. Thanks for tuning in. Anyway, Mike's Birdfeeder.
Not much to say about it. I got tired of a squirrel coming by. I got a couple of squirrels and a couple of chipmunks that come by and feast off of all the things in the bird feeder. Mm-hmm. But it's not a squirrel feeder, it's a bird feeder.
Yeah.
But they don't know that because they're too stupid.
Yeah, they're not very bright.
Yeah, so
what did you do?
I bought a tub of grease and I greased up the pole so now they can't climb it.
Did it keep slipping on it? I noticed it looked kind of sticky while I was out there. Well, I guess it's not sticky, it's slimy.
Yeah, I put a greasy slime on it.
Yeah.
Greasy grease.
What kind of grease did you put on there?
I just went to the hardware store and bought generic grease.
You put like grease, you put like GAA on there?
I don't know what that is. Probably car grease? Yes.
Grease, automotive, and aircraft.
Yes.
You can't do that!
I did.
That's an EPA violation.
I'm not putting it into the water stream, I'm putting it on the pole.
Oh man, I feel like that's probably not okay. Why didn't you put lard on it?
Lard? Where would I buy lard?
You can get lard at the store.
Why would I want to buy lard?
Because lard does the same thing as grease.
But now I have a tub of car grease in case I need to do some car repairs too.
When do you ever do car repairs? Oh,
good point. I'm never gonna do car repairs. If I ever have car problems, then I can wrangle you over here, do my job.
Remember that time when you drove me to go look at cars?
Oh, jeez.
We got into, oh god, we were driving and then suddenly engine power just went out the window and there's none of it left.
Well, the thing was, it originally started malfunctioning at a car lot that we were looking for cars, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We were looking for cars at a car lot, and on the way back to my vehicle, I noticed it was dripping something. I thought, oh, well, we better get back to my house, and halfway back to my house, it just completely shat the bed, stopped working, so
I do remember that now.
Turns out it wasn't oil, it was transmission fluid.
Ah, that's what happened. Your transmission exploded.
And you're not supposed to drive your vehicle without transmission fluid in, because that wrecks the engine. But luckily, it was salvageable. There was still some transmission fluid in when I got it towed to the shop, so it wasn't completely destroyed the motor. So it could have been worse. It could have been much worse.
Lovely.
I don't know where we were going with that story, but
no, it was just, it's a weird stream of consciousness thing. I got that ADHD brain. My ADHD brain don't work right. You have been trying to be more healthy lately.
I have attempted to, yes.
How's that going for you?
It's awful.
Yeah?
I try to count my calories, but by the end of the day, it's always like, I ate 800 too many calories today. I tried to ration my calories, and I ate so many calories. No dietary changes have actually taken effect. I just watch myself fail all day.
Fun! I don't really know what to tell you about, dieting, because when I started eating gluten-free food, that was the first time I've started dieting in my entire life.
It was forced upon you.
Yeah, and basically, my diet is kind of the same thing I would normally eat, but gluten-free. So, I am eating a lot of gluten-free gnocchi and pesto.
Is that tasty?
I love it. It's delicious.
Cool.
Have you ever had gnocchi?
Nope, never heard of it.
Oh man, it's so good. They're little potato dumplings.
Right.
They're very chewy.
Okay, I didn't know.
They're great. They have an excellent mouthfeel.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you'll have to try them sometime. They're very tasty. So yeah, you said that you had tried to stop consuming caffeine.
I've done this several times where I try to stop drinking soda, and I last for about a day before I get head-splitting headaches. And it just feels awful. And then I break down and get some soda and drink that and I feel fine. It's rough. I want to cut out these liquid calories because I know they're not great for me. But it's a chemical dependency. Probably a psychological dependency as well. I've also tried swapping over to diet sodas, but those just dehydrate the hell out of me.
Why?
Drinking normal soda is fine for me, but when I drink diet soda, I get so parched. I can't stand it.
Have you tried other sodas?
I want to drink less soda, not more. I don't know what the solution is. Just drink less of it, I guess. Keep an eye on how many cups I've had a day.
You honestly don't really have any vices beyond soda though. So maybe this is an incorrect opinion to have, but I kind of am of the opinion of just fuck it, whatever, who cares?
I don't want to be my current weight. I want to be less weight, and I need to figure out a way to do that.
Have you exercised more?
Yes. It's really the diet. I really need to get my caloric intake under control. Eating less and drinking less. But I can't do it. I'm terrible at it.
I feel like you don't really eat that much, though.
You would think so, but once you start counting your calories, you see how much it all has. A single slice of pizza is 300 calories, so you have half a pizza. That's an entire day's worth of calories right there.
Zach's hot takes, I guess. I think counting calories is completely pointless. Because if you're hungry, you're just hungry. And if you're hungry, it's like, well, I have to count my calories. I guess I'll just have a salad. And it's like, yeah, but that's just empty. There's nothing in it. You're not getting any nutrients from that. I feel like it's just kind of like a weird thing that doesn't work that well. I'm probably completely wrong on that one.
Well, people have different diets and have different tricks that works for them. So if you find a different trick that works for you, let me know. I'll try that. But I've tried a bunch of other different ways to lose weight. And once I actually start counting calories, I was able to see just how much I was taking in. So now I need to wrangle it and get it under control. The thing is, you eat a single cookie, you look at that, it's like 200 calories. It's like, damn, that is 200 calories in a single cookie. I can't have these cookies anymore, because I can't have just one.
Slight topic change really quick. What the fuck is with serving sizes?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I realize this is probably a bit that's been done to death by every single comedian on the entire fucking planet. But actually, what the fuck is with serving sizes?
Companies always choose a serving size that benefits them, like how certain mints have 0 sugar in them because the serving size is so small they don't have to.
What is the serving size, like 1/10 of a mint?
Something like that. Something ridiculous like that. because then it's only like 0.9 grams of sugar, and if it's less than a gram of sugar, they don't have to report it. So it's 0 sugar.
That's incredibly I remember I was eating something and I like looked at the serving size. Oh, I was eating popcorn and I looked at the serving size, and the serving size is like 1/4 a cup. Who the fuck is eating? That's less than a handful. Who is eating 1/4 of a cup of popcorn?
Oh yeah, any kind of box of cookies, it says serving size 2 cookies, something like that.
Just ridiculous.
Serving size 4 chips.
2 cookies.
19 crackers.
Who the fuck is eating 2 cookies? I'm eating half this goddamn tray.
Yeah.
And that's if I'm not hungry.
There were some changes made recently in the last couple of years, so companies have to put not only serving size per serving, but also serving size per container now. To try and clamp down on some of that.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be loopholes, like the additional sugar loophole.
The only thing I know about like the added sugars thing is when they started saying, oh, well, you have to tell everyone how much added sugars you put in there. Ocean Spray, the cranberry company, was basically like, please don't make us tell people how much sugar we're putting in this. They legitimately said in their own thing to like the FDA, they said cranberries normally have a bitter and unpleasant taste.
Yes.
Please don't make us tell people how much sugar we added to cranberry juice.
Yeah, nobody that makes any kind of berry product, juice product, wanted to include that because they try to market themselves as being healthy alternatives. Oh yeah. Orange juice, part of your balanced breakfast. Start your day with a cup of sugar.
Yeah. I don't think they should put nutritional information on food.
What?
I already know the food's bad for me. I know it's fucking bad for me.
You want them to put less information on the labels or food so people are less clued in as to what they're eating?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to know how bad this food is for me. I already know it's bad for me.
You don't have to look at the label. People that care about what they're eating can look at the label. You don't have to care.
Yeah, but then I see it. It's right there.
Just close your eyes. Ignorance
How am I
is
supposed
bliss.
to close my eyes when I'm eating?
Oh, like you haven't reached into a box of food and eaten it without looking. Oh, let me read the label first.
Also, I feel like everything should be required to have a label on it as to whether or not it's gluten-free.
Yes.
Again, this is...
now you want more information.
I am a man of many contradictions and many problems. More contradictions than the Holy Bible up in this bitch.
Oh, all right. So, first episode, we're already getting into the religious debate.
You were the one that showed me that video that was how to eat nothing but chicken breasts without wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that video, which was a joke video, but also had helpful advice in it.
See, I try to eat apples. I love apples, but only if they're crisp, and they stop being crisp after 3 days.
Yeah. So
sometimes you buy them and they're not even crisp.
Sometimes you have to, like, if you want apples, you have to, like, go to the store and buy them every single time you want them.
Not even that. You have to make sure that they have a fresh supply of apples.
Yeah.
If you're eating a week-old apple, then it's already soggy.
Everything's just entirely too complicated. Let's just go back to a caveman diet of eating nuts and berries and raw meat off of a thing that we just killed.
Okay, you want to go on a paleo diet.
No, I want to go outside and bonk a saber-toothed tiger on the head with a large rock and then eat it.
Yeah, that's paleo. Paleolithic. That's what it stands for. The Paleolithic era diet.
I thought you were saying that, like, I eat food that's pale.
No, what? No idea what I'm talking about.
No, I'm just being a goober. I know what paleo is.
Oh, I fixed my bathroom sink recently. I've been putting it off for a year.
How was Mike's adventures in home upkeep?
Sucks, man. I'm not a handyman. I mean, I've worked with plumbing for the last, 5 years, but
you've worked with pneumatic plumbing, not hydraulic plumbing.
Yeah, water plumbing, yes. I had actual sink plumbing I had to do. I've been putting this off for so long because I didn't want to, but I had some downtime this weekend, so I did it.
You should have just asked me to do it. I would have done it.
I would have loved to not do any work and made you do it instead, but you had other things to do.
I was in a different state,
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So I mangled my sink, and then I mangled the pipes under my sink, and I had to replace them all.
Did you have a pipe wrench?
Well, I had 2 crescent wrenches. It's close.
That is not close enough. That's what you need a pipe wrench for.
A pipe wrench wouldn't even fit down there.
Or a strap wrench.
The only thing that I had a problem with was it was leaking, obviously. So what I'll do is I will tighten up this little round bit at the end of the faucet.
Yeah.
Where the water comes out.
Okay.
I'll use the wrench and I'll tighten that. That was not a part you could tighten. That was just a part of the fixture.
Oh, so it broke.
So I wrenched it completely off.
Nice.
Yes. So I had to get a whole new faucet, which, fine, whatever. I got a new faucet.
Did you caulk it?
No, it comes with a little plastic piece, and it says you should use sealant. I'm like, I'm not gonna bother.
But you should use sealant, though.
I should.
You're not going to, are you?
No, I didn't. If it leaks, I'll take it apart and put sealant on, but right now it seems to be working fine.
The point of putting sealant is so that when water goes on the top of the sink, because inevitably when you wash your hands, it will splash. Mm-hmm. When water goes on the top of the sink, it doesn't seep in between the faucet body and the sink body.
It's probably not going to
cause mold and rot. It will do that, though.
It came with a little plastic piece that I clamped down the faucet.
Capillary action is still a thing.
Stop! It doesn't have any blood vessels. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you watch educational videos on YouTube?
Oh no, my sink is wet. Ooh.
This is how you get mold. This is how you get mold and rot.
If my sink faucet gets moldy, now I know how to take it apart and clean it.
Oh my god. Lovely. Lovely.
So right now I've got no problems with that sink whatsoever, and I'll update you never because it'll never need an update.
I will need an update. Mark my words, in like 3 years, Mike is going to be like, yeah, I had to replace my sink again because it started molding. I had to hire a contractor to come in here.
I had to replace my own sink, so I broke 3 of them in the attempt to do so.
Good lord.
Oh, that porcelain's not very strong, is it?
It probably actually isn't porcelain, to be completely honest. I bet your sink counter or like the sink bowl is probably just made out of like a polyurethane or whatever the hell plastics they make everything out of now.
No, I'm pretty sure it's ceramic.
I feel like it's probably like a polyurethane or something. I don't know, maybe it is.
Speaking of faucets, in the last few years I've gone to many, many houses and seen many, many faucets.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know why they still have separate hot and cold knobs on some faucets.
I don't know, because we don't live in the UK where that's a thing.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, it is the year 2020 or so, and it's been a while, but people have invented faucets with one handle that controls both warm and cold.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
Yes, which is why I got that as a replacement for the one that was broken, instead of getting two separate knobs.
Was yours a 2 separate knob one?
No, mine was one handle.
Okay.
And
it was.
I bought a replacement that was one handle, but they still sold the double knob things. They still.
Some people like those. Like
they're $5 cheaper. If I was a real cheapskate and didn't care about the quality of the water coming out of the sink.
Some people really like those, which I don't fully understand. But also, I'm a big fan of brutalist architecture, so to each his own. Mm. Some people are all about the two. You know what really annoys me. I don't know why. Well, actually, I know exactly why. I just
tell me about the faucet that annoys you.
This is the thing that is faucet adjacent.
Okay.
I hate bathtubs with feet.
Oh yes.
Those are infuriating. I
saw plenty of those too. Tubs that aren't even against the wall, they're just in the middle of a room.
That's weird. And it's always like rich people that have those.
Well, yeah. These are all the houses I went to are rich people houses.
Yeah.
I could do an entire 30 minute rant about these houses that I've gone into, which are just wastes of money.
We could there you go. There's another episode.
Yeah. I've worked on houses where the people living there had a pool inside their house, and I've said,
what?
That's fine. If you have a normal house, but you just have an additional room with a pool in it, not like Olympic size or anything, it's just a normal pool. If that's what you want to spend your money on when you're 60 years old, knock yourself out. That's a great way to stay in shape. I'd love to have a pool in my house. Yeah, that's fine. That's not excessive, I don't think. There's a person that I did a house for. They had an airport, like a little airplane hangar for their biplane because they loved flying.
Good lord.
But their house was normal. Like, it was just a normal 2-story house, and they had a normal garage, but on the other side of that garage, there was...
Oh, well, I guess, like, that's your hobby.
If that's your hobby, if that's your one thing, it's still... A rich person, no ordinary person go out and buy in a hangar. But,
yeah, not really.
But still, if that's your hobby, then that's your hobby. All right, have fun with that. But I have worked on some fucking houses that have like 8 stories. Somebody had their house inside the side of a goddamn mountain, so it was like 5 stories tall. One of the houses that I worked on has a fake house in front of it, and you would drive behind that house to get to the real house.
What?
Yeah.
What? It wasn't like a guest house?
It could have been a guest house.
Oh, maybe it was just like the guest house.
Yeah, but it's like the driveway goes beside the house. I've worked on expansions for houses that are bigger than most houses I've lived in. It's a gross and excessive amount of wealth that makes me want to just burn everything down. But I don't have to think about it anymore. I'm not doing that job anymore. Now I can just sit here and talk about how much I hate them.
That is just absurd to
Yes.
me. My girlfriend that I'm currently living with, she moved here from California. Before she moved here, I was talking about like what rent was, and rent in our area.
It's gotten expensive.
It's gotten expensive, but at the time, the house I was living in, there were 4 people living in it, and I was paying about $1,000, or all 4 of us together were paying about $1,500 a month.
Combined.
Yeah, combined.
Yeah, so
it was like 300 something a month for me.
Yeah, not bad.
Which is not bad, and for our area, or for like the area was not bad at all. But like I told her that, and she was just absolutely baffled because she had an apartment that I feel like her apartment was probably about the size of the ground floor of your house with some more square footage added to it.
My house is pretty small. Okay.
Yeah, that's like how big her apartment was. Was that, and she was paying herself. There were like 3 people living in that house. They were paying each like $1,700 a month.
That's a lot.
That's incredible. When we got the apartment that my girlfriend and I are currently living in, I currently am paying about $1,300 a month for rent.
The 2 of you combined are spending $1,300 a month.
Oh yeah, no, I'm paying for everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm paying like $1,300 a month for where I'm currently living, which is still just bafflingly low compared to anywhere in California.
I keep thinking back to like 10 years ago where I had a studio apartment that was $400 a month.
Yep. Yeah, those prices are it's never going to go back to that point ever.
And it seemed even back then, it seemed like I was throwing money away because I wasn't putting that money towards something. It wasn't an investment into a mortgage or anything.
Rent is just a money hole, but the advantage you get on rent, you're not stuck with whatever the housing market is currently doing.
I know there are advantages here and there, but
yeah, there are advantages here and there, and I feel like a lot of me defending rent is just me huffing copium.
your Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome.
I love paying rent. I love paying hundreds of dollars a week in rent.
I would love to have a house right now, but it's not a thing that I can do.
You probably wish you had gotten a house 3 years ago when it was feasible.
Yeah, when it was feasible, but also I had terrible credit, so I can't buy a house. But oh god, this drives me absolutely. I realize we're getting kind of off topic here, but I gotta bring this one up. This drives me absolutely nuts. Me going to the bank, hey, I would like a loan to buy a house and start a family and actually have a stable place to live. No, we can't do that. Your credit's too bad. Okay, can I have a $20,000 student loan? Oh yeah, we'll give you that one though. Yeah, they'll give me a student loan that I have to work for the rest of my life to pay off because the interest is completely bonkers. But a house loan? No, fuck that.
No, the absurdities never stop. You're not responsible enough to pay $1,000 a month for a house. Instead, pay $2,000 to rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then part of the renting process is, you have to have enough money to pay like 3 months rent.
Yeah.
It's very disheartening to me knowing that like 40 years ago, you could have a job working at a grocery store, bagging groceries and pushing carts, and that legitimately would have been enough to support a family.
Yeah, we could do an entire 4-hour rant about how much our economy sucks and how much everything sucks right now, but let's just focus on the little things, because the little things are fun.
Little things are fun. Maybe in another episode, again, comment down below if you want to hear our 4-hour episode of us ranting about how fucked the economy is.
Comments disabled. You guys couldn't keep it civil.
Speaking of just bitching about things endlessly, why don't you tell me about Overwatch 2?
All right.
Great segue.
Nice. We'll transition into talking about video games.
Yeah.
Sure. So enough of the slice of life stuff. Let's talk about video games. Overwatch. I love this game. Except, not really. I'm addicted to this game is a better way to describe it.
Yep. It's
a habit-forming video game where if I'm bored, I'll just drop in for 10 minutes of the game. Or an hour of the game, whatever.
Or 6 hours of the game.
You know, sometimes whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Overwatch 1 for a while now, because that's the only Overwatch game that's out.
I bought that game for you, and now I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, you get to... That happened like... it came out in 2016.
Yes.
And then in 2017, it was their 1-year anniversary, and they had like a free weekend thing, so I did that. And that was the same time you gifted me an actual copy of the game so I could keep on playing it. I originally was just going to joke around and make a video on it, but now it's become a large chunk of my life. Hooray!
Hooray! Habit forming!
I wish I could make videos on it, but first of all, the gameplay itself is so chaotic. With 12 people just firing abilities everywhere, no one can really... If you have not played the game, you can't really watch the game, because it is just lights and colors everywhere.
It's the same thing as League of Legends. If you don't play League of Legends, it's impossible to tell what the fuck is going on.
There are people walking around over there. There's lights going on.
There's lights going on. There's a thing over there. Someone is yelling the word Sejuani, whatever the fuck that means, like over and over again. Mm-hmm. And then some Australian man is screaming. And I'm like, what? This is professional gameplay footage? What is this?
I have the same reaction because every once in a while I get the itch to say, I like playing the Final Fantasy games, maybe Final Fantasy 14. I heard great things about it, and then I'll watch a little bit of gameplay, and it's just 18 text boxes on top of 30 other text boxes.
Is 14 the multiplayer one?
Yeah.
Did you hear about what they did recently?
Oh, we're gonna get sidetracked, but yes,
we're getting slightly sidetracked, but this is only momentarily.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14, the online multiplayer one, they didn't know how to end the current story that was happening because they're coming out with the new one. That's the new online multiplayer one.
Okay.
So a dragon showed up and killed everything.
Are you confusing this with the reset they did a while ago?
This was recently, as far as I know, like within the last week or so.
Because Final Fantasy 14, when it came out, had very negative reception. It was a bad game. And so they reset the entire thing and did a complete redo of the entire game. And so canonically, the entire world got burned down by a dragon or something like that. And now it's a realm reborn. That happened many years ago.
Well, maybe that's what they did again to this one, because as far as I know, within like the last week or so, they were just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Have a dragon kill everything. Their characters will come back later.
We probably shouldn't be talking about that since neither of us have played those games.
Neither of us fucking play it. Anyway,
Overwatch. I've been playing that for a few years. Overwatch in its first few years was a fun game. They would come out with a new hero every 3 months, a new map every 3 months. And then, like, 3 years ago, it's been so long at this point, they announced that they were going to have a sequel, Overwatch 2. It was going to have a bunch of PvE stuff. So it's a campaign, a story mode, a single-player mode, essentially. You could go around, watch cutscenes, play the game against computer opponents. Yeah. A very different beast to what it is right now. That wouldn't be bad, except that they halted development of... We haven't had a new character in the base game of Overwatch in 2 years.
Has it been 2 years? Jeez.
It's been a long time.
Wasn't the last one to come out the robot lady?
Yeah, Echo.
Echo. Yeah. I realized saying that doesn't really help because they kind of went...
There's 2 or 3 of them, yeah.
They kind of went like... Character design kind of went ham on giving people robot parts. McCree has a robot... Well, his name isn't McCree anymore.
Another thing to add to the shit show.
We'll get to that. Anyway,
long story short for Overwatch 2's development, they said they were going to come out with Overwatch 2. It's been in development for 2 years. It's probably not going to come out next year, probably 2023 at the very earliest. But until then, they haven't done anything with the original game. It's just been sitting there. We've gotten no new content, no new heroes, no new maps. It's just been stagnant.
I thought they did a Halloween thing. Well, they always do Halloween things. Anyway, go on.
They have new skins.
Okay.
You can put a new skin on your character. That's all they do. Which it's better than nothing, I guess. But essentially,
it's still just blatant gambling to try to get the skin, though.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, we've basically been bereft of new content.
Okay.
It's the exact same game with the exact same heroes. Nothing new's happening. Because they're shifting all of their development and resources to the sequel. That just keeps getting more and more delayed. Yeah, Overwatch 2's development has been... It's been racked with... Activision Blizzard is a shitty company that's been protecting harassment. And there's all the leads have left, and there have been new people moved in, and they quit after 3 weeks. It's just been an absolute shit show. Here is what's going to make things even stupider. The Professional League.
Okay.
They have announced that next year, 2022, the Professional League will be playing on an early build of Overwatch 2, which means all the characters are going to be reworked for the 5v5 format.
But how will the professional teams play on a game that isn't out yet?
That's the question, right? The professionals are going to be playing Overwatch 2, where all the characters have been rebalanced for the new 5v5 mode, and everyone else is, I guess, going to be playing on Overwatch 1's classic 6v6 mode.
What?
Is there going to be interest in watching professionals play an entirely different game from what you're playing?
Yeah, why?
It made a bit more sense when we thought that Overwatch 2 was coming out sometime next year. Okay, maybe the professionals get like 2 or 3 extra months to play. They're going to get it a full year ahead of everyone else, apparently, to play on the early build.
Yeah, if it was like a couple months, cool. That builds like excitement for it. That builds hype. But like, that seems like a really stupid decision.
It does seem like that, yes. It's an entirely ridiculous situation.
All of the stuff happening with Overwatch makes me wonder if Diablo 4 is ever going to be a thing. I feel like it probably won't be.
That also got pushed back to 2023 or whatever.
Oh, it's probably never going to come out.
Probably.
It probably will never come out. The Diablo 2, the remastered version of Diablo 2 came out. I played it, but I should preface that with I had never played a Diablo game until Diablo 3. And apparently Diablo 3 is very different from Diablo 2.
Ah. You got excited about a Fallout 2.
Diablo 3 is more arcadey. Diablo 2 is a more... I don't know if you can really consider it. Can you consider it an RPG? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I know nothing about the Diablo
it's
series.
a dungeon crawler. I don't know.
Sure.
I gave it a fair shot. I think I really did. I put like several hours into it. I just can't get into it. I feel really bad that I can't get into it, but I just can't.
You're not obliged to get into it.
But I liked Diablo 3. Like, I really liked it. And I remember people telling me how great playing Diablo 2 was, like when they were in high school. And I wonder if it's because there's people that are still playing the Diablo 2 remastered. They still love it. It's great because it is just updated Diablo 2. It's like the Demon Souls remake that they did for PS5. They 100% recreated the game just to run in a modern engine with better graphics.
Okay.
So that means all the bad things that were in Diablo 2 originally are still in this one.
Oh, geez. All right.
So yeah, that is kind of a weird thing about it. That's why I had kind of a hard time getting into it. If you like playing Diablo 2, I fully understand that. I'm sure it is absolutely great. It's just really hard for me to do.
I wish I had more experience with that series so I could talk to you about it, but I don't know. I've never played it.
I don't really know much about Overwatch. When I stopped playing Overwatch, I like completely cut myself off from it.
I really wanted to enjoy playing that game with you because I like playing games with you. I like that game, so I would like playing games with you. But that game pissed you off every time we played it.
I honestly, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just at that point in my life where I was just really angry about everything all the time.
Maybe.
I feel like I've gotten better recently.
Maybe.
I don't know. It might just piss me off again if I tried to play it though.
Yeah. The thing about those games is these player versus player games are always going to end with at least you losing half of your matches.
Yeah.
If you only get joy out of winning matches, then you're going to be miserable at least half the time.
I don't enjoy playing hyper-competitive games. Which is weird that I liked playing Overwatch so much, but I think the reason I liked playing Overwatch so much when it first came out was because everybody was on the same playing field as me.
We all sucked equally.
Nobody, like, obviously there's people that are better at first-person shooters, but there's people that are like, it's summer break, and there's, like, 16-year-old kids that do nothing but play Overwatch all day. Yeah. So I'm getting my ass handed to me by a 16-year-old who's telling me that he fucked my mom. So yeah, once it gets to that point, it's just not fun for me anymore. I don't like playing hyper-competitive games. I've never been a competitive person. So it isn't enjoyable for me when it gets to that point. Are there any games coming out in the future that you are excited about?
No, I don't get excited about games anymore.
Really?
I've gotten excited.
There's nothing?
I've been disappointed so many times. I honestly don't think it's me losing passion in games. It's just that games today fucking suck.
They do. They really do suck. There's a lot of really bad ones.
When I was growing up, we had Ratchet and Clank competing with Jak and Daxter, competing with Sly Cooper on the PlayStation 2, an annual release for all those things, and they were always great games, and they're just gone now. Jak and Daxter is in the bin, no new ones. Same thing for Sly Cooper.
It's because Naughty Dog made all of this money on the Last of Us games, and that's all they're gonna do now.
Well, they did Uncharted after that.
Oh, I know you love Uncharted. Have you seen any trailers for the new Uncharted movie?
No, I don't. Have there been any good video games adapted into movies?
No!
Why would I get excited about it?
I don't know.
Remember that time I took you and...
I thought you would get mad about it. And you are mad.
I don't care enough to get mad. I didn't even know about it until you brought it up.
This is the thing. I know you don't really know actors. They have Tom Holland playing Nathan Drake. Tom Holland looks like he's 12 years old perpetually.
Okay.
I'm not going to make you guess who they have playing Sully, but it's Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, none of these names mean anything to me. I don't watch movies.
I'm absolutely baffled by the fact, because Mark Wahlberg does not look like Sully in any way.
Okay.
If you're planning on seeing the Uncharted movie, just play the Uncharted games. Get yourself a PlayStation 3, or 4, get yourself a PlayStation 4. You can get all the Uncharted games on it. Just play them on that, because your introduction to the Uncharted series should not be this bullshit movie that's coming out.
Yeah, remember when I dragged you and friends to the Ratchet and Clank movie?
I do remember that.
That movie sucked.
I didn't think it wasn't great, but I don't think it sucked.
If you didn't know,
I was baffled that Rosario Dawson was in it.
If you hadn't played the original games, you would just think this is just a mediocre movie. But it was actually kind of insulting to anyone who played the original games because it was such a poor adaptation of it. It basically became everything that the original games mocked. This over-commercialized Mickey Mouse, gotta tighten all the screws and make my characters generic and boring and not have any personality, so they're heavily marketable. That kind of thing was lampooned in the first few games, and now it is what it has become. It's a parody of itself. So it was insultingly bad.
I'll have to bring my PlayStation 5 over here at some point so you can play the new Ratchet and Clank game.
But anyway, to get back to your original question, no, I'm not excited about any video games because I've been crushed by so many things I was anticipating. Resident Evil 6 sucked. Mass Effect 4 sucked. The latest Sly Cooper game sucked.
I can tell you a game I'm legitimately excited about.
Yes.
Elden Ring! Oh, Elden Ring.
Another Bloodborne kind of game?
It's it's like a Soulsborne kind of game.
Souls.
It's the same, it's by From Software. They've made all the Bloodborne and Dark Souls games. Yeah, I'm so freaking stoked for that game. I cannot wait. It looks like, to me, just watching, I've watched I've watched the trailers, I've watched like the 15-minute gameplay video they just released. I've been following it relatively closely. I'm very excited because FromSoft is one of those companies that takes making a good game very seriously.
Well, isn't that rare these days?
They want to make a game that people will enjoy playing. The director is he has a very artistic vision for what he wants his games to be like, and he does a very good job of implementing that. And Bloodborne and Dark Souls are two of my all-time favorite games. And Elden Ring looks like it's going to be freaking amazing. Elden Ring looks like it's going to be Breath of the Wild Dark Souls.
I'm sure it's going to be just as good as Alien Colonial Marines. You'll be
No, you shut up. Don't you put that evil on Elden Ring. Don't you put that fucking evil on Elden Ring.
Were you excited for that game too when it came?
God, just because you're bitter that you don't have a game you like, let me be happy for once.
Answer the question. Were you excited?
Yes, I was excited for that game, and it was complete shit. You let me be happy for once, and oh my God, if Elden Ring is bad, I will kill myself.
You'll have to go back to playing crappy old Dark Souls 1.
It's not crappy, it's an amazing game, but if Elden Ring is bad, I will cry and cry and cry, and then I will go to From Software's headquarters and commit suicide on their steps.
Jeez. You're gonna commit seppuku?
No, I'll just like set myself on fire or something.
Self-immolation.
Yes. I'm very excited for Elden Ring.
And then someone will save at you because you're now a bonfire.
Yes. I'm very excited for Elden Ring. It looks like it's gonna be absolutely amazing.
The higher the hopes, the more you'll be crushed.
I hope it'll be good.
Temper your expectations.
So far, From Software has never let me down.
Why would you even let your expectations get that high? If it's good when it comes out...
Because From Software is an amazing company.
You could allow yourself to be pleasantly surprised. If it turns out to be bad, you can just brush it off. But if you're hoping for it to be good, you're gonna be crushed when it's bad.
Who the fuck are you, me? The hell is happening here?
Why are you so blissfully ignorant of how terrible games are these days?
Because it's Elden Ring.
It's gonna be Colonial Marines.
Miyazaki-san cannot possibly be wrong. There's no way it's gonna be Colonial Marines. I have it on very good authority from many people.
Trustworthy sources say.
Both streamers and YouTubers.
People have access to what the companies give them access to.
Yes, I know, but
it's not always indicative of the final product.
Just let me. This is the first thing I've been excited about in a very long time. Let me have this.
Yeah,
let me have this.
I can't stop you from being excited about it.
You're trying to.
I'm trying to, but I can't stop you.
Let me be excited about Elden Ring.
I'm trying to save you from the inevitable pain you will feel.
No, you're trying to make me grumpy. Because then I rant about things. Tell me about how much you hate Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I bought Valkyria Chronicles 4, complete shift change, because Zach decided he didn't want to talk about Elden Ring anymore.
I want to escape from this conversation before you try to ruin it more for me.
You and I played Valkyria Chronicles 1 separately, and then we played it on the channel.
Yes.
It was fine. It was good. We had a fun time with it.
Yes.
I bought Valkyria Chronicles 4 when it came out many years ago, so we could play it together.
Yes.
We never played it. Eventually, I decided I was going to stream it, so I streamed it, and I had some fun with that game.
Are you glad that we didn't play it?
Yeah. It's not great. They didn't make a whole lot of improvements between the games.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cutscenes. It's 12 hours of cutscenes in this one game.
Yeah, isn't that more than Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, basically any Metal Gear Solid game.
That's more than like any... And they call it Movie Gear Solid for a reason.
Yeah, and Valkyria Chronicles' cutscenes are the ones where they would say a line, and you press A to hear the next line, and then you press A to hear the next line.
Yeah, so you can't just let it play and go make yourself a frickin' sandwich.
No, you can't. You can't listen to it in the background while it's playing. Look, there's no autoplay option. So I decided I was going to start skipping cutscenes, and then I would get to the actual battlefield mission, and I would have no idea what's going on, why my soldiers are doing the things they're doing, why is this suddenly important?
Yeah.
It was, I had to choose between not having any clue what was going on, or being bored to death by cutscenes.
A 6.5 hour lore dump that you didn't ask for.
Right. I just wanted to play the game. I just wanted to go around and navigate my soldiers around and play like a little game of chess with my soldiers, try and navigate the terrain and position them so I could counter enemy movements and take out the enemy commander and maybe do some tank battle. That's all I wanted to do. And they just wouldn't shut up. I admit, yes, this is an anime World War II game. You're going to put a bunch of anime tropes in and all this tsundere, baka ridiculousness, all the cliches. No matter how stupid it is, you're going to throw them in there. I accepted that. But there was just so much plot. And I didn't want to just listen to the plot. I wanted to play the game.
And it wasn't anime plot.
Yes.
I'm making a motion like breasts. That's the colloquial term for when you watch an anime for the plot.
Right,
the booba.
Yes.
It wasn't that kind of plot. It was like a poorly written Shakespeare / fiction plot.
It was frustrating, to say the least. Eventually, I couldn't beat it because I just got so bored.
That is just the ultimate letdown, isn't it? When you can't even finish a game because of how tired you are of it.
Yeah. It's probably the only game that I've played so far that I couldn't beat because it was paced poorly. 45 minutes of cutscenes and then 15 minutes of gameplay and then 45 minutes of cutscene and then 15 minutes of gameplay. And it just wore me down. I couldn't beat it.
The only reason I ever beat the original Valkyria Chronicles was because we were playing it for the channel.
Yeah.
I tried playing it on my own. I made it to... I made it to the mission where you have to fight the big stupid tank.
Yeah, that one stumps a lot of people.
And Silvaria keeps shooting at you the whole time. That's as far as I made it on my own. Mm-hmm. I would not have made it any further in the game if I wasn't playing it for the channel. But I also don't like JRPGs. Mm-hmm. I know you used to like JRPGs. When we were in high school, you played like all the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
You used to like, at least I think you used to like playing those. I don't know why the hell else you would play all the way through Final Fantasy 10-2.
Those games were, they're interesting. They're time-consuming.
They're incredibly time-consuming.
Yeah. Anyway, Valkyria Chronicles 4 final review. It's good, but the pace is horrible. It makes it a real slog to get through. It's a terrible game to stream because you're just watching cutscenes all day.
That's a Mike Burnfire fact. 0 out of 10 would not play.
I want to play it. It's got good fun mechanics. It's actually enjoyable, but it's not. They didn't do anything fun or new with it, really. I used to be really into the Walking Dead games. Oh yeah, the first game that was a surprise hit. Wow, that first game was amazing. Surely now that game has been such a surprise success, they'll take the advanced budget and all the expectations, all the flaws in the first game will get roughed out, they'll be smoothed over, fixed, and the second game is going to be amazing. No. The second and the third and the fourth game were all incredibly inferior compared to the first game. They didn't make any improvements. It was lame. I've tried to get you to play some of these narrative games.
We tried to play Tales of the Borderlands. I think we got like 2 hours or like an hour and a half into it, and I would like to play those games on the channel. The problem is it's like Valkyria Chronicles in that it's mostly cutscenes.
Right.
And it's very hard for me to keep interjecting on stuff when it's a lot of cutscenes with occasional QTEs.
Right. It's more of a streamable kind of thing, but even still, it's very limited interactions, which is why I think the first Walking Dead game was better out of the entire 4-part quadrilogy. You know, they tried to do some things with the sequels that didn't actually do anything new. It was basically the exact same game. Mm-hmm. But they took out some of the things from the first game. The first game had some puzzles. Typical point-and-click games had puzzles, so they felt like they felt like they had to include those. So they didn't include those in the sequels, which is I thought it was a good choice. But they also removed a lot of the downtime. So it was basically beat after beat after beat, boom, 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 boom. No time to rest, no downtime. In the first game, they would play like 10 minutes of cutscene, and then you had like 10 minutes of walking around, talking to people,
interacting with stuff,
interacting at your own pace, having a conversation if you felt like it, or just poking around. It was paced so much better. It's more of an interactive movie now, but if you want a narrative game, like if that's the experience you want, you don't have that anymore. Speaking of games we were excited about, oh boy, Fallout 76. Won't that be a fun one?
Won't be playing that anymore.
No? That was another one of those games that people had high hopes for. It turned out to be a massive disappointment.
I had high hopes initially.
So many controversies. I don't know. So many glitches. So many bad design choices.
When you and I were playing Fallout 76 recently,
yes, we went back to it and tried it out for a bit.
I noticed a lot of the same complaints in the comments section that I got when I tried to play Escape from Tarkov. I got a lot of the same complaints, which were things like, "Oh, well, you really have to put like 30 hours into it for it to be good," or "Oh, well, you're not finding any weapons because you're not doing this quest," or "You're not finding any weapons because they're all hidden behind a key or hidden behind a locked door that you have to go to another area and get a key for that locked door so that you can get the key for the door where all the weapons are."
A recurring comment that I saw was, "You're not playing the game correctly." And it's like, we're just playing the game.
It's a Fallout game. How am I not playing it correctly?
Don't the enemies level with me? I can go places, right?
It's an open world sandbox game.
I picked up a quest. It told me to go here. I went here. I'm just doing what the game says I can do.
If your game is Todd Howard saying, "You see those mountains? You can go to those mountains," then why the fuck can't I go to those mountains?
Oh, you're under-leveled, apparently.
You're under-leveled. You can't go there. Don't go there until you're the right level. Oh, you need this specific weapon. You need the god-tier weapon. This quest, it says is level 50, but you really should do it anyway because that's how you level up.
Yeah.
What? If
we could do an entire essay on how horrible the design is on that game.
We should do one. We should make that like our next podcast episode.
Now that it's out of the zeitgeist, make a 3-hour whinge about how much we hate this game.
Yeah. I mean, people want a podcast. Do a 1.5 hour fucking rant about how we don't like Fallout 76.
Do a bitch session where we just talk about things we hate.
Grr. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes it's good to talk about things that you hate. Not all the time, but sometimes it's good.
What can we say about Fallout 76 that hasn't been said already, though? It's an awful game.
It's not great. If you like playing Fallout 76, great, good on you. I hope you continue to enjoy playing that game. But I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't play that game. I don't know, maybe we could do it more. I feel like one of the only ways that it's going to be fun is if we have a server.
Maybe.
Yeah. I honestly feel like that's the only way it's going to be fun, is if we do the thing where you pay fucking $12 a month to own a server. That way we can just be like, yeah, fine, here, you don't have to worry about hunger or food stuff. Which apparently, I didn't even know this, you don't have to eat and drink.
Apparently they took out the penalties for having starvation or hunger.
Then why even have it there? Why is it still on the screen then?
People that enjoy and defend Fallout 76, I'm there with you. I also play and defend Overwatch. But you gotta be like me. You gotta admit it's a shit game.
Yeah. Do you think you will be playing the Skyrim 10th Anniversary Edition?
No.
No?
Maybe?
That could be something we do on the channel, maybe.
People have been asking for it, but I know you're not a big super Skyrim-y guy.
Well, I mean...
I played Oblivion. I thought it was okay.
The first time I tried to play Skyrim, and this was years after it had come out, the first time I tried to play it, basically I had someone that was like, well, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. The person that was telling me basically how to play the game was railroading me into basically power leveling my character.
Did you have a girlfriend bullying you or something?
No.
Was someone playing over your shoulder?
Kinda, yeah.
Backseat gaming?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
basically.
You're not enjoying the game properly.
you're not enjoying the game. Why aren't you spending 3.5 hours crouched behind a guard so you level up your sneak? Like, I was watching my girlfriend play it recently, and she was going through a cave and just magically appears a bow out of nowhere and starts shooting magic arrows into people, and is just one-shotting them. And I'm like, you can do that? You can make magic? She's like, yeah, look, I have a magic dagger too. Shoom, it just appears. I'm like, what the this game is incredible. I didn't know you could do that. So yeah, I'm when the game comes out on the 11th, I probably will actually get it because I've never paid for Skyrim in my entire life.
Surprising.
I've never played it on computer, and I've never paid for it ever.
Okay.
So I feel like, yeah, I will buy the 10th anniversary edition. I will probably play it when it comes out. Maybe I'll stream it. Maybe it's something we can play on the channel. Maybe we can be Mike and Zach exploring the Skyrim world, and I can be a chair.
That could be fun, yeah. chair class.
I'm honestly kind of thinking about just including, just dumping a bunch of mods into the game and just making it ridiculous, where I'm playing as like Sonic the Hedgehog or some shit.
You can be Armchair, I'll be Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe, who knows? I mean, it might be fun.
Yeah.
It might be fun to do. There's a reason they keep releasing it, and it's not just because it's a cash cow and they can dump money into it.
Even though that is a thing they do, yeah.
That is a thing they do. But yeah, people like playing that game. It's a good game.
Oh, God. I just remembered the most recent Pokemon game, too.
Oh, yeah, that was a shit show.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. God, I hadn't played Pokemon since Pokemon X, and before that it was Pokemon Ruby. So I take long gaps in between these games. Pokemon X and Pokemon Y were fun enough. I hadn't played Pokemon in a good 10 years, so there were a bunch of new monsters, so I had a lot of fun with that. The story was shite, though. But you know what? At least the story wasn't shite for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
In Pokemon Sword and Shield, the story is not also garbage. It is a garbage story. It is an awful story. But it also goes on it doesn't stop. It's just awful story after awful story for 40 hours straight.
And you have to talk to Hop every 5 minutes.
All you want to do is...
Who's like one of the worst rivals in Pokemon history. Why are we talking about Pokemon as if it's like a...
I'm just bringing this up as another example of a game I was incredibly disappointed by. I was kind of looking forward to it. I thought it'd be fun. I was kind of getting excited about it, and I played it, and it was awful. It was just awful. Why are all games awful these days? Why can't I have fun? Why don't you let me play Pokemon in a Pokemon game? Why do I have to watch your terrible story?
I bet you would like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee.
Those are just remakes of the original game, which had minimal plot, so yeah.
Yeah, but you would like those.
Maybe, yeah.
I thought of something that you might get somewhat excited for.
What's that?
The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remaster.
You know, I never played those games originally, so I'm not excited about it, but I think if I tried them, I probably would enjoy it.
You probably would enjoy it, especially if it's basically a remaster in the same vein as a lot of remasters that have come out, where it's just they improve the graphics and maybe they like fix some of the weirdness in it. Mm-hmm. But I feel like you would really like those games, the Knights of the Old Republic games.
Probably, even though I don't know anything about Star Wars. I think I saw...
Well, the nice thing about Knights of the Old Republic is if you don't know anything about Star Wars, these take place like 2,000 years before Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need to know anything about Star Wars.
Cool.
You need to know that in the Star Wars lore, Jedi are the good guys and Sith are the bad guys. Mm-hmm. I think you would enjoy them.
I think it could be a fun one, yeah. I should probably get around to playing that.
That would be... I feel like that's the kind of game... And people who enjoy that game are the same people that enjoyed like the Mass Effect games. Mm-hmm. They're the same people that enjoyed the Telltale games. They enjoyed the Knights of the Old Republic game because it was storytelling and the decisions you made had an effect on the rest of the game.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
So I feel like that is the kind of game, and like you could play that now. It's out. It's a thing. You could get it.
I know.
So that might be something for you to look into. Well, that's kind of a bummer way to end the first podcast.
Me being a downer saying I hate things.
Yeah. I'm the one that's supposed to hate things.
I guess I shouldn't say I hate things. It's just I've not found anything to excite me. So many things have been a massive, overwhelming disappointment. If it were just a couple of bad games, I could live with that. But so many releases that got hype turned out to be an absolute train wreck. Not interesting, not fun.
Yeah, but you just gotta stay positive. Keep thinking good things.
I do think good things. I think that one day there's going to be a game and I'm going to play it knowing nothing about it and it'll be a fun one.
Yay! I hope that happens.
I can't get excited about games anymore. I'm sorry. I can't fall for the hype anymore. You've tricked me too many times. I'm like a cat, and you've used a laser pointer for 4 years and never let me catch anything. I don't care anymore.
Damn. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to...
All right, bye, everybody!
Bye, everybody! Thanks for tuning into our first podcast. I would like to do more of these. I think it's fun to talk about weird, different things.
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll have to come up with a name for the podcast.
We already did.
We're not going with that name that you picked.
That was a good name.
Something in the ball sack.
It was memorable.
That's a terrible name for a podcast.
Which one of us is going to be the testicle?
I don't want to be Testicle in the ball sack.